Dana White's Contender Series 2023 is going to be kicking off as soon as June, and that's only about a couple of months away, and we don't even know who's really going to be on the roster. We've got nothing serious going on Tapology. The UFC haven't really announced anything crazy either, so we don't really know. So that's what this video is for. This is the most updated version in video format on YouTube, in my opinion, of who is going to be on Dana White's Contender Series. I've got guys that are 100% confirmed to be on Dana White's Contender Series, guys that are rumored to be on Dana White's Contender Series, but there's a very good chance that they're actually on the Contender Series, and then guys that are rumored, but like they're rumored, you know what I mean? So they might not be on there, but they're at the end. The guys that are confirmed are at the start. Joshua Van is the first confirmed fighter to be on the Dana White's Contender Series, on the show, I guess you could say. 21-year-old flyweight from Myanmar. I believe he trains in USA. He fights in USA at Fury FC. And speaking of Fury FC, they're the ones that confirmed it. Very reliable source. He spent his whole pro career and amateur career fighting for Fury FC. They would know. And he's got really good wins, man. That win over Paris Moran is a good win. The win over Cleveland McLean is a good win too, because Cleveland McLean was like 7-1 in his last 8 fights when he beat him. Great win. Fury FC champion, I believe, as well at flyweight. 21 years old. Very, very good. And I think that he could go pretty far if he can win and get in this UFC. We move on. Zachary Reese is a 5-0 middleweight. He has also been confirmed to be on Dana White's Contender Series. And this guy, hey, there's a bit of question marks on his career. I'm going to be honest. 5 first-round finishes, but over not really the best competition. But man, this guy, he wins, man, and he wins fast. And you got to kind of respect the hustle, dude. He's fought recently 5 times since 2021 as well. And everyone he's beaten, dude, he's just beaten them in the first minute for the most part. And he made his amateur debut in 2012 against Kevin Holland. But yeah, and then he fought 5 years later. A lot of cancelled fights in between, but here he is. Here he is. He's a professional now. Borderline UFC ready. You know, he's going to be fighting on Dana White's Contender Series. If he wins, it will probably be in the first round, and he should get a contract. So it'll be interesting to see how far Zachary Reese can go if he can win his Dana White's Contender Series fight. Edgar Chairez is also on the show. If you guys know, he fought on short notice against Clayton Carpenter on Contender Series in 2022. And since then, he's won a couple of fights. Had that viral win over Gianni Vasquez. Not really for a good reason, though, because Vasquez... Poor Vasquez. Don't watch the video. If you've probably seen it, it went viral. It was pretty messed up, honestly. But not really Edgar Chairez's fault. It was the referee's fault for falling asleep on the job, is all I'm gonna say. And I like Chairez, man. He's from Mexico. UFC wants more Mexican guys. He's massive for flyweight as well. UFC needs more flyweights. I think he's gonna fit in well on Dana White's Contender Series. Eli Ronov is also confirmed. He is 6-0. I believe he was like almost qualified for the Olympics as well in wrestling. And he's got a very wrestling heavy style. He is a little bit one-dimensional though. But he is coming off a very dominant win where he kind of like made a name for himself when he beat Mariusz Kulkiewicz in 2022. I ended up watching that fight live, and I thought Mariusz was going to win. And out of nowhere, Eli Ronov comes out and dominates him. As soon as I saw that win, I kind of thought, yeah, we're probably going to see more of Eli Ronov. And he hasn't fought since. He's actually got a fight booked. I don't know if he's going to show up to that fight because he does have the Dana White's Contender Series confirmed. But maybe you see him at 7-0 if he can beat Ryan Loader. And we'll see him maybe if he will be on the Contender Series. The next one is Felipe Dos Santos. I am a massive Felipe Dos Santos fight fan. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a massive Felipe Dos Santos fan. This guy's fights are fight of the night worthy every single time. Every single fight this guy is in, it's a war. He's in wars, man. Every single fight. But I'm really worried this is too much too soon. He's 22 years old. He's having very close fights with guys that I wouldn't consider UFC level, like Hugo Paiva, who was a great fighter. He is a great fighter. That was a very close fight that could go to Paiva's way, honestly. And a very close fight again to a 5-2 Rafael Montoro. But the way that this guy fights, when I say mini Charles Oliveira, I mean mini Charles Oliveira. He's got that shoot box style, very aggressive Muay Thai, very aggressive grappling, fight of the night style, war style fights. Fantastic fighter to watch, very fun. I'm a little bit worried though, it might be a little bit too much too soon, but that is the end of the guys that aren't confirmed to be on Dana White's Contender Series. The next group of guys and girls are rumoured, but there's a very good chance that they're on. So we move on. John Sweeney is an LFA fighter. He just won an LFA main event over a Damian Maia protege. I'm pretty sure Ari Fries was a Damian Maia protege, but a very good grappler anyway. John Sweeney's on a bit of a win streak by decision and also split decisions as well. But this guy is a very fun fighter, and he's a very fun personality as well. He's very good on the microphone. He's pretty funny as well. I like his style, you know. Fought Dre Miley, beat him, who's in Bellator right now, I believe. Cole Smith is a pretty good fighter as well. Split decision wins though, fought an ex-MMA. One of my favourite regional promotions. Lost to Cody Durden, who's also in the UFC. Beat Keith Lee, Kevin Lee's younger brother, who's now famous. John Sweeney, very likeable guy. He's funny, he's good on the mic. He's also got a pretty entertaining style, even though the fights do go the distance. And he just showed really good grappling against a really good grappler in Ari Farias. So I like John Sweeney. I kind of thought he'd just get signed straight into the UFC, but it makes sense that he's going to be on Contender Series. We move on to Bruno Lopez, who is an 11-0 light heavyweight from Brazil. I was kind of thinking this guy would be on there, and I'm very glad that he is. He is 11-0, as I just said, and I believe almost all finishes as well. Most recently, all finishes anyway. He's got wins in LFA, which is kind of where I found out about him. And yeah, he's got good wins like Melton Azevedo, beat him in the first round. Before that, you know, not the best guys in the world, but we're talking all the way back to 2013 when he would have been 19 years old. I like him, dude. 11-0. You know, that's a good record. 12-0 if he wins as well in Dana White's Contender Series. We move on. Magomed Gaffarov. This is a guy that people hype up a lot, man. People are very, very high on Magomed Gaffarov. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I actually haven't really seen too much of Magomed Gaffarov, but people are very high on Magomed Gaffarov, and he is rumoured to be on Dana White's Contender Series this year. But yeah, as I said, I don't know too much about him personally. I need to look into him a lot more, but he's been good guys. 3-0, 5-0, 19-7, 7-4. As I said, a lot of people in the know are very high on this guy. I would consider someone in the know, but I'm someone that doesn't really know too much about Gaffarov. So maybe I'm not in the no, you're not in the know. We move on. Magomed Gaffarov is 18-4. He fought on Dana White's Contender Series and lost, and he's the LFA champion. You know, he fought against where is he? Chad Anhaliga. I thought that he beat Chad Anhaliga, and that was a pretty bad decision. But hey, he bounced back. He come back against Heribeth Souza, who was 15-1 at the time. Beat Diago Silva, who was 15-7, but on a win streak at the time. Finished both of those guys. Honestly, should just get signed straight to the UFC. Tajikistan also has like a crazy fan base as well. Like people from Tajikistan really support their fighters and their athletes. So Magomed Gaffarov would probably be a pretty good addition to the UFC. He's a great fighter. He probably would win his Contender Series fight because he's just that good. We move on. Denise, also rumoured to be on Dana White's Contender Series. This is an exciting one for me. Denise, he's 5-0. Former Glory kickboxer as well. I believe he went 3-3 in Glory. He's had a lot of kickboxing fights. I believe he's even had like a couple of boxing fights here and there as well in his career, but doesn't really matter. The point is, this guy is a great striker, and he's 5-0 with 5 first-round knockouts, man. And he's also young. He's 31 years old for a heavyweight, so this guy's got a lot of time to improve at heavyweight, because a lot of guys at heavyweight, they end up kind of like being in their prime later on, like a lot later than guys in lower weight classes. So Denise, he's got years to spend in the UFC making improvements and working his way up with that great kickboxing and great power as well. 5 first-round KOs, you don't get them out of nowhere, you know what I mean? He really could go pretty far, and with a 6'4" frame as well, he's not a small boy. We move on. Josephine Nutson, also rumoured to be on Dana White's Contender Series this year. She actually fought on a Road to UFC bonus fight against Yadam So, where I think she was like a minus 1,000 favourite to win. Why is my tabology not loading? She was an absolutely ridiculously massive favourite to beat Yadam So, and she looked pretty good on that fight, because Josephine Nutson, if you guys don't know, I believe she is a former kickboxing world champion as well. And she's transitioned pretty well to MMA. I thought that UFC were just going to sign her off that win over Yadam So, but they didn't. So she fought Australia's Jacinta Austin and scraped by that fight, and now here she is. Very good striker as Josephine Nutson. If she can keep the fight on the feet, she should be able to beat a lot of people at women's strawweight. Speaking of great women's strawweight strikers though, Isis Verbeek, 4-1. She's 28 years old. She also has a kickboxing background in Glory as well, I believe. She also has a couple of world titles to her name, but don't hold me to it. I could be wrong there, but very good striker and very marketable. I'm just going to say it. She is very good looking, honestly. I think Isis Verbeek is definitely someone that UFC could market, and she could make a pretty big name for herself in MMA, but she has got losses to Catherine Paprocki, who was on Dana White's Contender Series, and The Ultimate Fighter as well. So it's not too bad of a loss really overall. And now she's bounced back. She's got a choke in her career, but I would not consider her a grappler. She's not that good at grappling. She gets it done on the feet, and she kind of does anything. She's got an exhibition boxing fight. She's got a bare-knuckle MMA fight. I think she's done a bare-knuckle boxing fight as well at some point in her career as well. Isis Verbeek, very good fighter, very good striker. And so that's all the people that are rumoured, but very good chance that they're on the show or on Dana White's Contender Series. Now we move on to guys that are rumoured. Like, these guys have a very good chance that they're not on the show, but they're rumoured to be on the show. Or if they're not rumoured to be on the show, they're also going to be... whatever. They're rumoured to be on the show. Sorry, Samanda Muradov is rumoured to be on the show. The rumour is that him and his team have been talking for a long time about having a big fight announcement coming up, and it just never has happened. So the assumption is for Samanda Muradov that it's Dana White's Contender Series, and that makes sense. I'm a big Samanda Muradov fan. Look at the guys that this guy's beaten: 10-0, 19-3, 19-4. He just beat Gian Sakira, dominated him. I think Samanda Muradov, at the age of 23, is a future champion. He's a future champion in my opinion. He's 23 years old. This guy's only going to get better. He's got another 10 years to work and improve before he kind of comes out of his prime. It's crazy. It's crazy. The next one is Dia Nurmagomedov. Dia Nurmagomedov, I actually believe that Dia Nurmagomedov was rumoured to be offered the Gregory Rodriguez fight at UFC 283. I don't know if I'm correct in that, but even if it isn't correct, Dia Nurmagomedov is on the UFC's radar. He is a guy that wants to be on Dana White's Contender Series, and I think that he probably will be. He's from Kazakhstan. UFC just signed guys from Kazakhstan. I think they want to do an event in Kazakhstan sometime soon as well, so Dia Nurmagomedov probably could be a pretty good signing of Dana White's Contender Series if they were to pick him up. Evgeny Ignatiev is 22-2, which is insane. He also is rumoured to potentially be on the show, or the rumour is that he's really trying to get on the show, like he's really trying to get the UFC's attention to be on Dana White's Contender Series, and I don't blame him. I mean, look at his record. He says 20-2. He hasn't lost since 2017, and then before that it was 2015 he lost. Massive win streak over good competition as well. 8-1, 17-6, 7-1, and then 5-5. Yeah, 23-9, 26-12. That's a crazy record, 20-2. The next one is Boris Medvedev. Also, once again, rumoured to be on the show. Not confirmed though, 16-2 record. Beat some good guys too. Henderson Fahea. I believe Henderson Fahea is like a former PFL fighter. Anyway, Henderson Fahea is a good win, and he beat him in the first round. Beat 23-13, 10-3, 22-6. Beating good guys. He's beaten good guys, and his career is kind of where I'm going. He's also rumoured to try and get on the show. Another one is Michel Martignoni. Now, the rumour with Michel Martignoni is an interesting one. He's vacated his Cage Warriors belt at bantamweight, and he's trying to cut down to 125 pounds to fight for the belt at Cage Warriors 125 pounds. But UFC wants fighters from Italy. So Michel Martignoni is also rumoured to be on Dana White's Contender Series. It's interesting to see what's going to happen. I don't know if Cage Warriors will keep him, or if Dana White's Contender Series will have him on the show, but he's also rumoured to be there. And that's it. That's all of my videos. I forgot to shout out A. Le Mayonnaise, who's like my source for this, man. I've got Sean Bitter is also a source, and Justinus on Instagram as well. He was messaging me about it. He's also a source. So, yeah, shout out to all of those guys. Definitely check them out. I'm sorry I didn't shout them out at the start of the video, but I will pin them in the comment, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll catch you in the next one. Let me know what you think. If you guys know anyone that I've missed, let me know. If there's anyone you're super excited for, let me know. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.